Hey guys, it's Nate, aka TheFutAccountant. Welcome back to the channel. Today it's once again guaranteed TOTS SBC day as we expect multiple TOTS packs and player picks, including the guaranteed Premier League Team of the Season pack. But after last week's overpriced atrocity, which was the Serie A TOTS guaranteed SBC, I'm a little worried about today. We're going to talk about how we can get prepared, maybe how we can make some coins off of that SBC today, and maybe how we need to start saving our fodder for the huge leaked player SBCs that are incoming in the next couple of days. We have official stat leaks for some honestly crazy SBCs and the entire Bundesliga team of the season. We have official stats for as well. We're going to take a look at those today, plus a very early leak of some new icons that might be coming to FC. Let's get into all the details, guys. If you're excited for this one, drop a thumbs up to the video, hype the video, and subscribe if you are new. Now, yesterday's content on Tuesdays where we're going to start, where we just had some simple stuff. It was a pretty quiet day yesterday, including another small chain evolution called Rapid Gains. And as you may guess, this does give the rapid base playstyle. It's a 3 times repeatable max 88 chain evolution. And some people yesterday were saying, oh, Nate, it's almost May. We're done with max 88 evos. To a degree, I understand, but also this is one of those that, man, if you're just wanting to do a couple of chains and create some of the really crazy evo cards that people are creating in this game right now, this is perfect for a center back because your agility gets boosted up to 90, but your strength goes to 95. So if you have somebody who is 6'1" and taller, which means they can be lengthy, you can make that card crazy agile and still be lengthy. 90 agility with 95 strength. That's a pretty crazy combo. So for a card like Cuti Romero, maybe it's Bombito, maybe you still have a max 88 card in your club that you want to try to boost up the strength stat and the agility stat on. This is actually a very, very nice chain evo, in my opinion. It does give the rapid base and the enforcer base playstyle. So unless you want enforcer, make sure you have at least 7 base playstyles on the card that you put into this, but it does not upgrade the overall. They stay in 88 or whatever rating they are, below 88, and I think that is a good thing. So I'm actually a fan of that evo. I'm going to find players to put that on with no problem in my club. Now let's go to SBCs, where we had another showdown, right? The showdown that was kind of added to the game accidentally 2 days ago is now here. We've got Buendia and Hutchinson for the Forest Villa game that is happening tomorrow. You got a day left to do these. You got a day left to get them done. The SBCs themselves are okay. They're only about 50,000 coins. I don't think the cards look that great, but if you are interested in either of those two players, they are there. I can say the same thing about the E Libertadores FC Pro Leagues SBC. Of course, this is the pro event that's going to be upcoming, I believe, this weekend or next weekend. With 3 days left in the SBC, it's probably this weekend. You've got a Castellanos, Gabriel Peck, Arthur Chavez, and Suazo that are in here. They're really easy to get done if any of those interest you. There are some +1s and some base playstyles on the line for those cards based on how the pros play this weekend. Also, yesterday in SBCs, we had maybe the most fun SBC of TOTS, just because it's cool. The EFL Young Player of the Season Winners SBC. It's only 2 SBCs, but you get 3 cards, including Canu, and then on the inside, you get Dom Ballard and Jordan James. The best part of this SBC, guys, is number 1, the price, and number 2, the dynamic images. 3 dapper-looking W Dynamics, all suited up for these guys here. That's kind of the coolest part about this. It's an 88 squad for each of the 2 segments inside of this, and you get 3 Team of the Season cards, which when you kind of do the math, I mean, sure, you are technically paying 56,000 coins, but you get 3 TOTS cards that are all right around, is it 92 rated for all 3 of them? Because if that's the case, then, I mean, that's actually not terrible in terms of fodder. Yeah, they're 92 rated. So these cards count as Team of the Seasons and SBCs. So with your extra 88s that you may have in the club, you could get them done and enjoy using players with some sick dynamics and some decent stats, or just get some Team of the Season cards that look pretty cool. This one's downvoted on Footbin, honestly, but I'm going to upvote that because the dynamic images and because of the cheap price that those are. Now, the best SBC yesterday from just a worth it standpoint is the 85 by 3. Guys, we've been saying for a couple weeks now that they needed to change the requirements here. And they did. They just did what almost exactly what they've been doing on the 86x2 SBC. Instead of having two 83 rated squads inside of this pack, it is just 6 golds and 7 golds in the 2 squads here. It's absolutely fantastic. So GG's EA for that one. That is super duper dice. That's repeatable 3 times every single day. That was the SBC content yesterday, but everything inside of this game yesterday was dwarfed in comparison to Champions League semifinal action between PSG and Bayern Munich. Guys, that game yesterday, I even missed part of it after logging off the stream, but I watched the highlights. I did see the first penalty and then the Kvaratskhelia cut inside goal to make it 1-1. That whole game was content. Some people are dubbing it the best UCL semifinal of all time, and I think they have a great point. This is setting up for a crazy second leg, and it's going to be amazing, but what has happened after the first leg is also pretty crazy. Doué was 3 million coins yesterday before the game. With the PSG win, Doué and Lucas Beraldo, the road to the final cards for PSG, are both getting a +1 overall upgrade, and there's still another +1 overall that is on the line for the second leg. Of course, whoever advances to the UCL final will get a third place style plus after next week's second leg as well. But that is something to watch out for. Of course, you've got the positive movements in price of a card like this Doué. You've also got this Kvaratskhelia man of the match card from way back when, earlier in the year, going up crazy in price. And I show this to you guys because this is a good thing to remember. When there are very exciting football matches that happen in real life, a lot of times, remember this for the World Cup especially, a lot of times people come back to the game and they want to use those players that they just saw on the pitch doing incredible things in real life inside of this game. And that's why you see this card, Kvaratskhelia, just absolutely skying on the market because this is his best version. His other card that's 91 rated is moving up a little bit in price as well. But that's just a good thing to remember when it comes to these big games where everybody's watching. There's a lot of hype and build up. So again, when we get to the World Cup, you'll see a lot of those movements as well. Even if these cards aren't live, if they're just very popular players and something big happens, you'll see players move up that do big things in real life. So that's what I wanted to mention there. Now, of course, that's the positive side of things, the PSG cards, the upgrades. The negative side is Musiala, Conrad Leimer, who I was hoping would get a +1. No upgrade for them, but they're still in it. It is not over yet. It is still anybody's tie in the second leg to go through to the final. But this Musiala went from 1.2 million coins yesterday, and now he's under 1 million coins. And yeah, now you're waiting for this next week, a week from now, when the second leg will be played. His card may go up a little bit. We do have, of course, the Bundesliga team of the season, which might help his card out a bit, but I wouldn't invest too heavily in something like this because the price is probably going to stay low until later this weekend. But it's also a good reminder for today. If you sold Musiala on the hype yesterday, you're very happy. If you want to sell Hincapie, or if you want to sell Sorloth in the hype today as well, Molina, any of the live cards from Arsenal, Atletico Madrid, do the best thing, do the good thing, the smart thing, and sell those into the hype because you never know what's going to happen. This Sorloth could be 350k tomorrow on the video, or, you know, he might be 100,000 coins if Arsenal win. It's going to be one of the two, unless it's a draw, and then I guess he could be around the same price. But just selling the hype so you save yourself the craziness and you save yourself the potential loss of coins there. And the last thing to discuss from yesterday, we're going back to webpage here, is the La Liga Team of the Season vote. So just like we had for Premier League and for Bundesliga, we can pick our formation and we can start voting. Guys, as I was clicking through this vote yesterday, I don't know how they're going to do the attack for this because you've got Julian Alvarez, you've got Mbappe, Lamine Yamal, Rafinha, Vinny Jr., Mariki, who you could argue deserves, Ferran Torres. There's a lot of attackers in here that I would love to see get Team of the Season cards, and I'm really interested to know who is going to end up getting that upgrade and get the cards in Team of the Season when it's all said and done. So that vote is out. I'll put the link to this down below in the description of the video if you do want to go get involved and vote there. The midfielder vote is a lot thinner. Tchouameni, Valverde, Güler, Fermin, Pedri are in there, and then defenders, you know, Alvaro Carreras. You got some names in there that look decent. Also some that are going to be like at least a little interesting. We'll see, but it's a vote, so we'll see how it pans out. But guys, that is kind of the end of yesterday's content, apart from the leaks. That's where we're going to transition into talking now, because the leaks really kicked off yesterday. We talked in yesterday's video about official Bundesliga stats being coming soon, right, and stuff like that. We needed to see how juiced the cards were actually going to be. Well, after seeing the official Bundesliga team of the season, Saudi League TOTS, and a couple of other cards, it feels like EA's kind of juicing this next week of team of the season to keep things interesting. But they're mostly juicing it in SBCs because the SBCs look crazy, and I'm all here for it. Now, this is the official Bundesliga team of the season in terms of stats and play styles. Harry Kane is 97 rated and has 4 playstyle pluses. He's got the technical, the finesse, the low driven, and the power shot. If I pack that card, I'm going to go crazy. Schlotterbeck, man, if that Schlotterbeck card had 90 pace, he would be unbelievable. Intercept, anticipate, slide tackle, still has crazy defending and physical, and crazy passing as well. But I would love to see 90 pace. I think he deserves it. He's fast. Olise's card looks unbelievable. We were talking about this in the stream yesterday, comparing his card to Semenyo. Semenyo's 1.6 million coins. That Olise with the finesse, the rapid, and the incisive stats a little better than Semenyo, except for physical. And with the hype IRL being French, I mean, ooh, are we talking about a 2.5 million coin card here? Maybe 3 mil on Friday. And then by the time we get into like Saturday, Sunday, Monday, like a 2 to 2.5 million coin card. That's where I could see that Olise ending up in price. That's a crazy looking card. Kimmich looks very good as well. Jonathan Tah looks like a problem. I know he doesn't have intercept. If he had intercept instead of aerial, he might be one of the best center backs in the game. Still looks very good. And then you look down to the rest of this team. Upamecano looks very good. Jockey, block, and intercept with 90 pace. Stiller looks like a sneaky good CDM with 90 pace, 94 passing and defending, and 95 dribbling with pinged, tiki-taka, and intercept. Vuskovic looks good except for the playstyles. Luis Diaz looks solid. And then you got some other cards down here like Diamande, who looks pretty decent as well. And I'm sure, of course, you've got a lot of your fodder cards in here as well. I got 7 players from Bayern Munich in that Bundesliga team this season. So definitely not bad, but I wouldn't say I look at this and I'm like, oh my gosh, EA is boosting it like crazy. I'd also say the same thing about the Saudi League TOTS cards. Joao Felix looks really nuts. Cristiano Ronaldo, this was everything that everybody was talking about yesterday related to this squad, was revolving around Ronaldo being a 3 playstyle plus player, and Messi, of course, had the 4 playstyle pluses during MLS TOTS. I will say, all of the playstyle pluses on Ronaldo's card are very meta. Quick step, the low driven, and the finesse, and it's Ronaldo. You know he's going to be good in game. The rest of this team, you know, there's a couple decent cards in here. Ibanez might be one of the most hyped if you look and zoom in all the way down here in the bottom. That's a very nice looking Ibanez card. He's got the quick step, the bruiser, and the jockey. Is if you see a lot of the center backs, and notice a lot of jockey and aerial fortress in this team release here, like Koulibaly and Simakan as aerial fortress. Don't know what's up with that. I would say out of all the defensive playstyles, that is the least useful. I would take a jockey over an aerial fortress, but of course, jockey wouldn't even be my like number 3 or 4. I mean, maybe my number 3 priority, like intercept, anticipate, block, and then jockey. I guess it'd be like my 4th most meta playstyle plus there. So a couple decent cards in here. Quinones could be good, but it's really just Joao Felix, Cristiano Ronaldo, and maybe like a Simakan will be usable. Koulibaly, I think his fantasy card looks a bit better. We haven't had the full league stats yet for the women's Bundesliga, but I think there's got to be an error with this Bull. Clara Bull, 4 playstyle plus is not an error. Finesse, low driven, incisive, Tiki, but 97 defending, that doesn't seem quite right. So I think that might be a typo there. But 97 pace, 95 dribbling, 93 pass and shooting looks pretty good. Fudala with the quick step, the rapid, and the finesse looks decent as well. And those are some big stats. 96 pace, 95 dribble, and 95 shooting. So that could be pretty interesting there. But guys, then it gets to be the big names, the big leaks. At least for what I believe is the most hype thing coming for this Friday's Bundesliga TOTS release, and that is the Leonard Carl SBC. We got official stats. 95 pace, 95 dribble, low driven, incisive, and quick step. Also has 92 shooting and passing. The problem that I see potentially arising with this SBC, though, is the price. Because, guys, Leonard Carl's Future Stars card is like 700,000 coins. And I don't think that EA is going to just make, you know, this SBC super duper cheap. I mean, if Leonard Carl actually had a team of the season card, how much would it be on the market? I'm actually searching up his card right now just to see if he is actually 700,000 coins. And I believe that he is for his Future Stars item. But I'm looking at this SBC and I'm seeing a card that a +2 overall on the pace, the shooting, the passing, and the dribble, and a +3 to the actual card stat from this Future Stars. I'm seeing a card that probably is 1 million coins as an SBC, if I'm being honest. Now, he's going to have the center attack in mid position, obviously. Hopefully, he has center mid, right wing as well. 5-star would make this really unique. Other playstyles that he could have, since he's going to have the low driven, the incisive, and the quick step. I mean, he doesn't have quick step or low driven on this version of his card. So the trickster will probably still be there. The first touch and the technical, probably maybe finesse base as well. But we'll just have to see. I just worry that that card could be a little bit overpriced as an SBC. I know, big name, right? A lot of hype, but might be overpriced. Now, the other SBCs, I think I have more hope for, and I think they might be more interesting because of the price being cheaper. Angel Di Maria is coming back with another SBC. Of course, he had the flashback earlier on in the game. We talked about this yesterday, but these are official stats for his SBC. Look at that. 94 pace, 94 pass, 95 dribble. I think that looks better than Leonard Carl. For a center attacking mid, technical, incisive, and the finesse. He does have cam position, by the way. One of the leakers confirmed that. And I know, you're like, Nate, how am I going to link this card? Well, TOTS get the boosted chemistry. So if you have an Argentinian manager, or if you have an icon in your team, this dude is going to be on full chem. Di Maria is always silky in game with the left stick. He's got the 5-star skills. If they boost his weak foot to at least 4, we would love 5-5. This might be a legendary TOTS SBC because I don't think he would be any more than a couple 100K. Like, sure, the card stats look crazy, but usually for an off-league player like this, EA aren't requiring hundreds of thousands of coins. Like, max 250K would be what I think this Di Maria could be, but that looks like an absolutely phenomenal card that would be a plug and play, kind of a FIFA legend, right? Everybody remembers this SBC from 2022. We mentioned it in yesterday's video as well. I have high hopes for that Di Maria, and I think he just is going to be better because he'll be cheaper, hopefully, and more emotional, more nostalgic, you could say, for some than a Leonard Carl. So I have high hopes for that Di Maria, and I would love to use this card again in this game. And there's still one more name that we haven't talked about yet. We talked about this yesterday. Teo is getting an SBC. This is his official card. He's got the quick step, bruiser, and jockey. There it is again with the jockey plus. 94 pace, 92 dribble, 90 defending, 91 physical, and he's 93 rated. This one might be a little overpriced, but it's going to be a left back that people know. It's Teo freaking Hernandez. That's a left back that you can just do an SBC for like this and set in your club for a while. I know, of course, I'm looking at this card and I'm thinking, you can create evos that are a little bit better than this. And that's the number one argument against some of these cards. Like, Nate, I've got a better Teo evo than this. Sure, you do, but how many people do, right? Very few. That's the number one counter argument to the Nate, my evo's better point. Because yeah, it might be. There might be some evos that are better than this, but like how many people in the whole community actually have that? Very few, because there's so few chains that you can make of a card that look better than that, and there's so many people creating so many different evos with all the cards that they have, not of course focusing all those evos in the same player to make a chain like that. So I think this is a good SBC. Maybe not a fun SBC because, you know, he's an FC25 rat and we'll always remember that. And he's still very OP in game. Like, there's some people talking about how, you know, this guy is still really good in the game. He just kind of fell off a bit this year because he doesn't have as much pace or doesn't have as much physical, I think, as last year, as high of a rating. Just maybe isn't quite the FC25 level, but it's still Teo Hernandez. And I think a lot of people are going to be doing this SBC. I'm at least interested in it myself. Now, these are all official stats for some of the other SBCs that are coming out and objective cards that are coming out. Of course, we got the Carl, the Teo, and the Di Maria here. We have a pop end of an era, of course. Pop end of an era before Salah end of an era. A little unfortunate there. We got a Yannick Carrasco, finesse, rapid, and technical. A Kramaric card with technical first touch and incisive. And Serge Gnabry along with a Guirassy. I think this Serge Gnabry card might end up being cracked. Low-driven, pinged, and technical as a cam. 93 pace, 92 dribble, 92 shooting. His left stick dribbling, I remember using, I think it was his winter wild cards for a little bit earlier this year. The left stick dribbling on Serge Gnabry in this game was really, really good. So I think that card might be a fun one to use. Kramaric hasn't had a card in a long time. So if you're Croatian, you're super duper happy about that one there. So the last thing that we're really kind of watching out for in relation to Bundesliga team this season that is upcoming is the leaks for our Evo. Of course, this last Friday, we had a 3 playstyle plus Evo, the King of Highbury, right? We finally got a striker Evo for 3 playstyle pluses. Are they going to do that again? Is it going to be max 90? I don't feel like the Evo that's going to be coming out this Friday is going to be as hyped because they haven't tweeted it out yet. So I'm guessing that leak may be released today. Of course, now we know we can get these leaks multiple days ahead of time. So we're just starting to guess when the leaks are going to be. We're in this endless cycle of leaks, and then it comes out, leaks, then it comes out, which is getting a little fatiguing. I can't lie. I would be down for some surprises once again, EA. But it's kind of the world that we live in right now with this game. Now, the last leak I want to show you here is like a whole list of all the names. We do not have official stats for all of these cards. The ones that I showed you already were official, but there are some other names in here. Maybe take a quick screenshot. There's some Bundesliga 2, there's some from Bundesliga, some Saudi League, and some more players from the Argentinian League as well. We got a Paredes that's in there. So a couple showdowns too that are upcoming next week. So just keep a close eye on that if there's anything that's interesting in there for you. But it's really interesting to kind of think about those Evo leaks in relation to what's going to be coming out this Friday. Now, something completely in left field, a out of the blue situation that happened yesterday in terms of a leak. I'm going to just talk about it now, and then we're going to lock in for today's content on Wednesday, is this tweet right here. Kempes and Rivellino are currently being tested as icons for FC27. Testing isn't a guaranteed inclusion, but strongly suggest it. Last year, all the tested icons were added. I won't lie, not really familiar with Kempes or Rivellino. I did a little bit of searching. I guess Rivellino made the Elastico skill move popular. He kind of brought that into the limelight. So that could be an interesting card there. Of course, Brazilian should have 5-star skills, and if he made the Elastico popular, then he definitely should have 5-star skills. But those are two icons that are being added in. Here's a little tidbit. I know we're not even wanting to think about FC27 right now. I don't. I'll tell you that much. But I think they got to add some more recent icons into Arjen Robben. I know that's like top of mind for a lot of people. I think, it's cool to add in some of those icons like that as well. But I think I also enjoy having some of the icons in that are just a couple years removed from retirement. Those that are actually deserving of icons. Like we've had the Toni Kroos, we've had the Gareth Bale. It's time for the Robben, man. I mean, you could add a couple of other names that have been in there as well that could be added in. Like we had Marcelo, we had Zlatan Ibrahimovic. Those are great because those are relatable for most people that are playing this game right now. It is great to have some of those icons from decades ago as well. But I also think, I think EA's got to focus in on the icons that are somewhat more recent, because those, they just connect with a lot of us more than a card like Rivellino or Kempes. But I don't hate those. That's just my observation from seeing that league right there. Let's talk about today, right? We're getting too far ahead of ourselves. The word FC27 just sounds weird. I don't want to think about that right now. Not at all. Let's just try to get through the team of the season first. And we have a World Cup to think about before really any of that, hopefully. But let's talk about today on Wednesday, guys, with the guaranteed pack day. It's guaranteed team of the season SBC day, guys. And of course, last week it started off with a huge price for the Serie A TOTS guaranteed pack. We're used to, in the past few years of team of the season, just having 1 or 2 squads to complete for these guaranteed TOTS packs. And then last week, because of the situation with fodder prices that we've been talking about for months now, it feels like, they had to release a 3-squad Serie A TOTS upgrade, turning in 33 players to get 1 back. And that 1 player probably was like, what, Svilar, the 91 rated goalkeeper, or another card that was 90 or 91 rated. Like, the weight on this seemed extra bad last week as well. EA, you can't do 3 squads again this week. Again, what they've been doing more often now than what they were before is releasing maybe a higher rated squad. Instead of doing 2 87s and an 88 like they did here, if they do, this sounds crazy, but if they do an 88 and an 89 for a Premier League TOTS guarantee pack, I'll do it. Or 190 rated squad. Do I even dare say that? Because that seems like such a high rating, and it's not super easy to acquire that fodder, but it's also not very expensive to acquire that fodder. 90 rateds are 10,000 coins. 91s are 14K. Sure, 92s and 93s have gone up a little bit in value because of, some of the SBCs that we've had that have had less ratings in them. But I think I would rather have a 90 rated squad or an 89, an 88 and an 89 together, instead of doing 3 squads like we had for the Serie A TOTS upgrade, because at some point turning in too many players like this makes it an L, especially when this is supposed to be a guaranteed Prem TOTS upgrade. Is supposed to be a pack that gives you one good chance at one of the good Premier League team of the season players, and then it's like, you know what, I didn't pack it, then I can maybe go buy it for my team and call it quits, and maybe you can just kind of be like, yep, I'm done with the menu grind, I'll do my daily SBCs, but this is kind of a last chance thing in a sense for a lot of people that are going through this week of team of the season as well. So watch the prices on the 88s, 89s, and 90s, specifically the 89s and 90s. And then I would even say watch the price on 92 TOTS and 93 TOTS, because I would imagine there's going to be a guaranteed or there's going to be a TOTS requirement in this guaranteed pack today. So especially for some of these team of the season breakthrough cards, they're the cheapest versions of team of the seasons on the market at 14,000 coins. These might go up a little today. They could. They genuinely could spike a bit because the Premier League TOTS guaranteed is going to be an SBC that everybody does. Now, it's not just the TOTS pack for the Premier League. We're also looking for a new TOTS pick today, right? Last week on this exact day of Wednesday, we had a 1 of 3 week 1 TOTS player pick, which I've only done this a handful of times. Honestly, it hasn't felt worth it to me. But with week 2, including Premier League, Women's Super League, and EFL, I may do a couple more of these over the next few days. So that is another SBC we're looking forward to today. And again, last week, it was an 86, 87, and an 88 rated squad. Again, I please beg EA, make that 2 squads. Go for a little bit of higher rating. That's okay, because I don't want to turn in 33 players, 3 SBCs to one of these player picks where I'm getting 1 player back. 2 squads maximum, por favor. And if it does make some higher rated fodder move today, if they do kind of gravitate the requirements to that, you know, maybe you get invested. Again, like I said, maybe you buy some 91s for 14K for team of the seasons. Maybe you buy some 92s for 20. I do still like the 93 rated cards here on bid for 22 to 23,000 coins. As you can see right now, a lot of them are not actually 22 to 23K, but a card like Koga, she's still down there. Let's see. So Wunmi, he's 26,000 coins. If you can get any of these on bid or 22 to 23K, maybe 24 you pay, because they might go to 28, 29 today with the SBC coming out. That would be one short-term quick flip investment that I would make. Just make sure you sell those cards before Division Rivals rewards. So also one way to get all those packs done, and I just noticed this from putting in a bit of a menu grind yesterday. I know it takes work, and I know not everybody's motivated to grind this game at the moment, but if you're doing these crafting upgrades, man, I'm getting consistent 83s, 4s, 5s, and I'm getting walkouts as well from these packs, and doing them over and over and over, you're just going to stock up so much fodder in your club. So I would highly recommend hitting the crafting upgrades, and then of course rinsing your lower rated rares into the 82 plus Premier League player pick, because I do feel like it is worth it. Now, with this pack coming out today, with these guaranteed TOTS packs, of course, last week for Serie A, we saw a few cards rise up. If we actually go back and take a look at the graph of these cards from last week, we'll remember that cards like McTominay rose up a little bit, but then they kind of came back down. So this would be probably a short-term situation. As you see here, last week on Wednesday, right, cards kind of rose up right after the pack comes out, rises up a little bit more, hits 500K, but then goes down into Thursday from 500 down to 470 with Division Rivals rewards. And even later in the day on Thursday at Content, drops down, but then that's when they started to go back up. And if you take a look at some of the other graphs on cards like Nico Paz, Jacobo Ramon, this is when I was buying Jacobo Ramon last week for 120,000 coins, which was already inflated. But on Wednesday, you know, he kind of had a couple dips here or there, but he did rise a little after Content as well. I think the Premier League team of the season, having as much hype as it does, has a potential to rise into the weekend. But with the way things look right now, they've still been kind of sliding. Like Gabriel, 2.7, 2.2 for VVD. Soboslai is 280,000 coins. That's a pretty significant drop for him. He was like 320 or 330 a couple days ago. These cards have fallen a bit more than I was expecting them to. They're still getting packed pretty good, but weekend league rewards are going to be finalizing today in the early morning hours, and I think that's going to be the end of their supply. Rivals rewards could bring a tiny bit more, but if you compare Serie A to Prem, there's probably a lot more people that are interested in investing in this team of the season than there were last week with Serie A. So I'm not saying that every card on this team is going to be worth the investment, because it's hard to know with all the content that's upcoming this weekend as well with the SBCs. It's hard to know with the EVOs and with the SBCs that are leaked what's going to be great value and what's going to be kind of taken over, and then what people are going to just gravitate back towards for the Premier League to invest in for their teams. But if there's somebody you want for your team, I still think we're in a decent window to pick them up. And, you know, I think you should be safer now. You were safer yesterday too, but safer now in terms of these player prices than, of course, we were earlier on in the weekend. So not a bad shout for investing for your team. But I'm not going to sit here and say, oh, I think the Prem Tots are going to explode today. I really don't believe that much at all. I'm not invested in too many team of the seasons right now. I do have the Leo Ciencia card that I have a couple of, but it's not much. And I did buy one Kasparai for 240,000 coins because I thought that was really cheap. And I think this is a card that I guess some pros are using. And of course, the probability of her getting packed in the next couple days for most people is still very, very small. So last thing to kind of round up today's content on Wednesday for what we're expecting. Danny Welbeck SBC is still out there. I don't think we have any more showdowns that would make sense for games that are upcoming. Now, I will say there's a showdown that is expiring tomorrow, and that's the Buendia and the Hutchinson. But we do have the today showdown between Mosquera and we have, what's his name, USA Cardoso, that's expiring as well. I did the Cardoso because I'm locked in there. So if you want to get involved with maybe a less entertaining UCL matchup today between Atletico Madrid and Arsenal, that SBC is there for you. Also, to mention, last week we had the Serie B honorable mentions. Maybe we'll have a Bundesliga 2 on, or no, that'd be for next week. Maybe we'd have like another sort of Prem or EFL SBC. Maybe not, because we just had the young player of the season yesterday. I'm just trying to think what could replace that Serie B SBC we had last week with Poi and Paulo and with Busio. But maybe there's nothing that's going to replace that. Today's mostly about the guaranteed TOTS packs for sure. And we'll see if there's any Evo alongside of that. Probably nothing super crazy. Anyways, guys, I think that's going to be the video for me. Best of luck today with your packs, these guaranteed TOTS packs. I actually won't be streaming today. The Mrs. birthday is on Friday, so we're doing something today, of course, because Friday is a busy day. But I will catch you guys on another video tomorrow on Thursday. We'll probably look into what's next in terms of the news for Bundesliga team of the season, and we'll hopefully have a nice little Prem TOTS pack to open on the video as well. But that's going to be the video for me today, guys. I'll take an 89 Russo from that pack right there. That'll go into a Prem TOTS pack upgrade today. If you're looking forward to this Prem TOTS upgrade today, drop a thumbs up in the video, comment down below if you have any questions, and subscribe if you're new. And I'll see you guys in a video tomorrow. It's been Nate, TheFutAccountant. See you there. Peace out.